if you're new, hi, I'm Kara. So glad you clicked on. So today I have a very exciting, kind of long overdue video for you guys. But today I'm going to be talking about my college application process, all the colleges I applied to, which ones I was accepted to, rejected to, and ultimately my college decision. So going into the college application process, I really had no idea what I wanted in a college. I didn't know if I wanted to go to a private school, public, in-state, out-of-state, large, small. So I tried to give myself as many options as possible by applying to a wide range or variety of schools. I ended up applying to a total of 13 colleges. I wanted to make sure that I applied to schools that I considered safety schools, target schools, and reach schools. I think this is something really important for everyone to do when going into the college application process because college admissions is just so unpredictable. You never know how 1 year is going to go. So I'm going to start off by just listing all the colleges that I applied to and whether I was accepted or rejected. So I applied to University of San Diego, which I was accepted, and I was actually accepted into their honors program. Then I applied to Loyola Marymount University, which I was also accepted. Santa Clara University, also accepted. For LMU and Santa Clara, I actually applied early action. This is a non-binding agreement, but you just get to apply earlier and then find out your admission decision earlier. So I applied in, I think, October of my senior year, and then I found out my decision in, I think it was either November or December of my senior year. Next school I applied to was University of Southern California, USC. This was actually one of the schools that I was rejected to. Next chunk of schools I'll go over is the UCs. So I applied to 6 of the UCs. I applied to UC Davis, which I was accepted. UCLA, I was rejected. UC Santa Cruz, accepted. UC Santa Barbara, accepted. UC Berkeley, accepted, and then I applied to the University of Washington, which I was accepted. Then I applied to 2 of the Cal States. I applied to San Diego State University, I was accepted, and I was also accepted into their Weber's Honors Program. And then the last school I applied to was Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, which I was accepted. So out of the 13 colleges that I applied to, I was accepted to 11 of the colleges and rejected from 2 of the colleges. Now I'm going to discuss each school individually, and I'm going to kind of tell you guys why I applied to that school and why I ultimately decided not to go to that school. So when I was making my decision, I thought that all the schools I was accepted into had very great reputations, had strong academics. I knew I would be guaranteed a great education no matter where I went. So when it came down to making my decision, mainly the factors that influenced my decision was the location, the atmosphere, or pretty much just the gut feeling I got, like whether I could really envision myself there. So first off, I'll kind of just group the private schools together. So that's University of San Diego, Loyola Marymount University, and Santa Clara University. These schools I thought offered very similar things. Being private schools, they all would have very small class sizes. I knew I would get great one-on-one attention from all my professors. Additionally, they were in great locations. I knew that I would have great opportunities at. Loyola Marymount is in the up-and-coming Silicon Valley of Los Angeles, and with Santa Clara University literally being in the Silicon Valley. And since I knew I wanted to major in marketing, business, something with social media or digital media, I knew I would have great opportunities there. So the reason I chose not to go to the University of San Diego was ultimately because it was just too close to home. I'm from San Diego. USD is only about 30 or less minutes away from me, and I just wanted to get somewhere new out of my comfort zone for college. Then Santa Clara University and LMU, I pretty much have the same reasoning for not going there. When making my decision, I decided that I actually wanted more of a medium-sized student body, and these schools were just way too small for me with only about 9,000 or so students attending them. Next school I decided not to go to was the University of Washington. So by my list, you can tell that University of Washington was the only out-of-state school that I applied to. Going into the college application process, I pretty much had my heart set on attending a college in California, However, for some odd reason, I just decided to apply to University of Washington. I think it might have been a little bit to do with the fact that everyone at my school was applying to University of Washington. I feel like a lot of California kids just are attracted to Washington, so I just decided to apply. Why not? Even though I had an entirely different application than the Common App, the rest of the colleges I applied to. But yeah, so I decided not to go to University of Washington. Also, out-of-state tuition, very expensive. Next, I'll discuss San Diego State University. San Diego State University is a beautiful school. My mom actually is an alumni. When I was applying, I kind of thought about being a teacher or going into an education program, which they have a great reputation for. However, once again, like USD, San Diego State, which is way too close to home, I wanted to go somewhere new, somewhere different. That really pushed me out of my comfort zone. Next schools I'll talk about are the UCs. So UC Davis, I love the fact that it is a small little college town. Everyone rides their bikes. However, for me, I just didn't really get the feeling like I belonged there, or I don't know if it was the fact that it was super far away from the beach. I'm just used to growing up on the coast, so in Sacramento, where you're kind of a little bit in the middle of nowhere, just wasn't appealing to me. So the next UC is UC Santa Cruz. I had actually never toured UC Santa Cruz. It was just one of those schools I kind of applied to just to apply to as a backup. With my high school statistics, I considered it a safety school, so I knew that I would likely get in. However, UC Santa Cruz was kind of in the middle of a forest. Like, its campus was very woodsy, and I never really got a feel for the campus because I literally never even stepped foot on the campus. I just saw, I think it was the dorms when I was driving around, and so really never got a feel for the campus. I just never felt that connected or desire to attend UC Santa Cruz. Next UC is UC Santa Barbara. UC Santa Barbara is actually one of the very first colleges I think I ever toured or just walked around. And being a high school student, stepping on a college campus, you just fall in love with the idea of going to college. I was so excited to go to college that this school just, it has a special place in my heart, still being the first college I ever toured. The campus is just beautiful. It's literally steps away from the ocean. You can just, some of the dorms I think have little ocean or lagoon views. The campus is beautiful. It's known for having great education programs. I love the location. It definitely was one of my top choices though when I was narrowing down my decision. Next UC is UC San Diego. So UC San Diego, another San Diego school, just too close to home. I knew though, being in San Diego, it had an excellent reputation, just a little too much focus on the science field, and since that wasn't really anything I was interested in, I didn't really have a desire to go to that school. Next UC is UC Berkeley. Growing up, I was always kind of obsessed with the idea of going to Cal or Berkeley. With the reputation it has, I knew it would challenge me academically, and also I loved its school spirit, school pride. Having D1 athletics was definitely appealing. Just after visiting the campus for myself, the atmosphere wasn't what entirely I was looking for. It wasn't really a small college town vibes. It was like in the middle of Berkeley, which I'm not much of a city girl myself, so didn't feel entirely comfortable on the campus, which was a factor that was definitely very important to me when making my college decision. So ultimately, I think that's what drove me away from Berkeley, just its location and general atmosphere. Okay, now time for the last school I applied to was Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. So Cal Poly is part of the Cal State Universities. What I loved about Cal Poly is the small college town feel. Cal Poly is actually located in the happiest city in America, San Luis Obispo. It's the cutest little town, and I knew that lots of people had loved Cal Poly. It's a very popular school for students in my area to attend. I'd heard amazing things about it through word of mouth. Students there are the most enthusiastic, passionate students I've ever met. They were so eager to talk to me about Cal Poly, how much they loved it, that I became obsessed with it very, very quickly. Also, like UC Santa Barbara, Cal Poly was one of the other first colleges that I toured, and we had stopped at SLO numerous times on the way back from road trips to Northern California, so I was obviously very comfortable with the San Luis Obispo. So once I had received all my acceptances, I knew that I wanted to do something related to business or marketing, which Cal Poly had a great business school. Cal Poly was actually the only school that I had to declare a major at. They require all incoming freshmen to have their declared majors coming in. They get you right in your major classes right away, which is super awesome. However, for students like me that have no idea what they want to do, it can be a little intimidating. So I actually applied as a liberal studies major because I thought I wanted to be a teacher, but then when receiving all my decisions, I kind of had decided that I did not want to be a teacher and was interested in doing something related to marketing or business. And after researching their business school or the College of Business, I knew that they had a great reputation and I would just have to go through the process of changing my major. So those are all the colleges I applied to, accepted to. Those are my little descriptions of why I love those schools, why I ultimately not decide to go to them. When it came to narrowing down my decision, I was mainly deciding between two schools. I was deciding between UC Berkeley or Cal and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. So I knew that either way I would be receiving an excellent education. Both those schools had great reputations, great professors, great students. Students love those schools, excellent school pride. So when it came down to my decision, ultimately it just had to be a gut feeling. While I was so lucky to have so many options when making my decision, I definitely worked my butt off in high school to make sure I did have these options. I worked very hard. With this said, it did make the college decision process a little more difficult with so many options. Unlike most people, I did not have a top or dream school that once I got in, I knew I would go there, which I don't know if that's the best thing to do for yourself because it can get your hopes up. At the same time, though, I wish, like, inside I'm like, oh, I've wanted to go to this school forever, so I'm going there. It's my top choice, so I'm going there. I was very optimistic about the whole process, which I think is a great way to go into it. So now for the time of my decision. So I ultimately chose Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Go Mustangs! Woo! So I just finished up my first year at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and I could not have had a more amazing experience. I'm so lucky to have made this decision, and I'm so excited to go into my second year in the fall. If you are an incoming freshman at Cal Poly SLO, comment down below. I may be your WOW leader. Shout out to all the WOWies. I'm super excited to see you guys in the fall, and hope you have an amazing rest of your summer and get excited for Cal Poly. Woo! Well, thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope I was able to provide some insight. I know this decision can be so challenging. I'm a very indecisive person. I know the struggle. Thanks guys, bye!
Gotta keep that shine on top, yeah. On top, yeah. On top, yeah. I'm cruising through the city. Had to get outside, it couldn't get any more pretty. I'm moving.